All right, guys, I'm excited. I'm getting some guests lined up for the end of June, early July. I have one friend who's going to be coming on talking about soul retrieval. Really interesting stuff. If you've ever read any of the works of Bob Monroe. So the Monroe Institute out of Virginia, they focus on studying out-of-body states. And one of the things they found, they developed a program called the Lifeline Program. And what people in this Lifeline Program are trained to do is leave their body and once they leave their body, they end up meeting with somebody who recently crossed over, who recently passed away, and they help guide them and transition them to wherever it is they need to go after you die. It's really interesting stuff. I started looking into this stuff after my dad died. If you're curious about this, I'd recommend the 3 books by Bob Monroe: Journeys Outside the Body, Far Journeys, and his last book, Ultimate Journeys, where he talks about this Lifeline project that they worked on. In addition, look for the Secret Podcast. It's coming out next couple weeks. But I'm excited. I'm going to have a guest on the show who actually does this, and she's going to talk about her process and her experience with it. So look for that on upcoming episodes of the Secret Podcast. Here's a nappy confessional moment here. I'm always nervous when I talk about this stuff, like I guess in an Instagram video. It's one thing doing my show, but doing an Instagram video, because I can see who's watching the video, and I know some of this stuff is kind of out there. So I guess in my head, I'm always, wondering, are people looking at me like, Dennis, you've just lost your mind, and we just, for entertainment value, just like to hear what crazy things you're going to say next. My hope is that on some level I'm connecting with you guys out there. I know for me, I've kind of withdrawn over the last couple of years, especially just from a lot of different things that have gone on in my life, which has spurred my research, which has spurred why I do the writing and the the podcast. And a lot of times I wish that I was a little bit more socially outgoing, but I just have this stuff in my head that I'm trying to sort out a lot of times, and a lot of it comes back to seeing what my dad went through. So presently I talk about some weird stuff, I guess, but what I experienced, especially when my father passed, was, I want to say it's natural and normal, but it's something that we don't always talk about. And it comes down to, beyond belief systems. It comes down to experience and, what does happen when we die? Who are we? Those are questions that really, kind of drive me. I want to understand this existence and what it all means. And ultimately, I want to know, why do we suffer? Why is there so much suffering in the world? I saw it as a soldier. I saw it as a cop, and I always questioned that and struggled with that. And then, just after watching my dad die, it just stopped making sense to me. But on the flip side of that, despite trying to understand, the reasons why behind it, I also have to understand that there's a life to live, and there's a beautiful world that we do live in, and to make the most of every moment. And that is often my struggle. So as much as I'm trying to understand why things are the way they are and studying, where this is coming from, that knowledge does me no good if I'm not going to then use it to improve my mood, my life, my condition, to make this life better. All right, guys, once again, I got pretty long-winded. I can go on and on and on and on and on. But I don't know. Stuff's just coming out right now. So if you're still with me, thank you so much for watching. Reach out. I miss you guys, and hope all's well.